Welcome. This is Thronefall. It's a minimalist game about building and defending your little kingdom, but it's so much more than that. It's very stylized, minimalist, neat, tidy, but well made. Early access game, overwhelmingly positive at the moment on Steam. If you're into Warcraft 3, StarCraft 2 custom games, there's elements from those where you're base building and essentially building up your defenses whilst pushing economy and handling the enemy mobs that come at you wave after wave. So I've had a little go on it for a few hours and I've had a great time. And I really wanted to sort of demonstrate this video to others that might be interested in a game like this. So we're going to play this second level, and what we'll do is, as you can see, this is Thronefall. You can choose your weapon for your hero. We're going to go with the sword in this case, because if you look at the bottom right, there's quests. And I've achieved almost the quests, except for C and F, which is achieve a victory without the bow. You can see the symbol there. Although, let me move my webcam and then you can definitely see. Okay, there we go. Achieve a victory with the following modifiers. So, mutators, they are essentially buffs to the enemy. However, if you manage to succeed each round, you'll get more experience, which will allow you to access more perks and unlock more stuff in the game. So far, I've unlocked this mount with the perks. The perks can range from sort of more gold over time, more damage on your towers, more health on your hero, more damage on your hero. So you can play it along the lines of boosting your heroes specifically, and less on your army. Or you can go more with a base defense and less on your hero, or more on your army and a bit on your hero. You can sort of mix and match your perks to find the desire that works for you. I tend to enjoy at the moment going for additional gold, so it gets you off to a pretty good start, and then you can start to scale enough gold to build enough units to deal with the mobs. But enough chatting, we'll find the last few perks to deal with. Yes, so I'm going to say I like to go with damage. Yep, that one. Where's my army damage? Because that's one I like to go for. Yeah, all your units and buildings deal 45% more damage to the enemies. And then a third perk is not something I'm used to, because I've only recently unlocked that. When you start off, you have fewer perks. So in order to do the harder difficulties, which you can see it will give you a bonus score of this much percentage, you're going to want to sort of play the game a fair bit to unlock it. It's early access at the moment. There's no pay-to-win mechanics in it whatsoever that I've ever seen. It's just play the game and get good. The weapon you have equipped... Harbors, that's for the last level. Units are trained faster. Let's go with that one. It costs a little bit more to get them out, but they'll spawn quicker. And that's going to be important for you to continue your defense. So I'm going to pull my webcam back over to this section over here, and we'll start off with the level. So this is how you start. An empty field. And you set up your castle. The tutorial level will demonstrate how all this works, so if you do pick up the game, you'll understand. I'm not sponsored to do this or anything like that. I just wanted to show it off. So I tend to find that you've got to get used to the levels and what they represent and what they bring at you to sort of know roughly how to push your luck. But ideally, you push as much greed as possible, because that's going to pay off more in the long run. At the start of this level, you're going to get attacked by 3 knights, or swordmen in this case, although I think they're classified as knights. That's something you can probably handle. So you want to splash your cash on the houses. Each one of these houses will give you 1 gold at the end of the day, but it costs 2 gold to set up. So you're thinking along the lines of, that'll pay off quite well in a few turns' time. But on this first turn, which we're going to start now, we're not going to be so good. But I think with the base, because it's kind of like Age of Empires, the base operates in the same fashion where it will attack nearby enemy units. These units spawn and they go in different directions, so you can sometimes have a mill that can give you farms, which will give you more income. And that, in turn, will allow you to produce more income for yourself. but the mobs might go for it, and if they destroy the farms, or they destroy your houses, you won't get the benefit of the income. So if they destroyed any of my houses here, one of them, for example, I wouldn't get the gold from that house. However, at the end of the turn, it does rebuild, but you won't get the gold for that time. So my sword ability is like a swipe, an AoE swipe. And I was tanking the mobs there a little bit, whilst keeping the base alive. So we've got 9 gold now at the end of this turn, as you can see at the bottom right. And the next attack is going to be 8 of them, which is going to be harder. So might want to consider a tower, or if you look at what you can potentially build for this turn, you can get a mill, and there's different options. It doesn't have to be economy. You can get mills that explode, but I wouldn't necessarily recommend those unless it's designed for the level itself. So towers will be good enough, I think. If we get a couple of towers, and we get one more house, then we'll be ready. So if you press S, you can see how many knights you've got to go. So 2 out of 13, and what you're going to fight against, and your current loadout. So we got those mutators, we've got these perks, and we've got this weapon. The only downside of this weapon is he can't hit air. So you're going to have to be prepared, depending on how you decide to build your hero, what you're weak at. Do you get towers because you can't hit air? Do you get archers because you can't hit air? That sort of thing. You got to think about what you're going to spend your money on for what's coming up. Ideally, try to protect these towers and let your hero sort of keep mobs distracted, but you can't tank for too long because you will get hurt. If you do go down, you will actually come back in 10 seconds, but that can be enough time for them to destroy your buildings. Now, they'll chase you for a bit, but then eventually they'll go back to the tower, so you kind of need to get in there, get close, and kite them a little bit, kite them, which is kind of fun. Like, there's a mountain blade kind of atmosphere to this, a top-down mountain blade vibe going on there, where you've got your hero that's essentially in charge of controlling the units, which we'll show later on when we get to it. And this is a turn where we've got 11 gold. There's 8 knights there and 2 sort of siege thingamajigs. I don't know what you would call them, but they're nasty. They do a lot of spiky damage. So you can see I've got 4 options here. When you first start off, you only have like 1 option, but as you progress through the game, you get more options. So when we upgrade our castle, we can either get more health or attack for our hero. You can either go with a building, which every morning a level 1 house is automatically upgraded to a level 2 house. So a level 2 house would basically be 2 gold instead of the 1 gold. And I tend to pick this one because there's, what, 12 more knights to go, 11 more knights to go. So that's 11 more gold, I guess, as it's building up over time. Obviously not 11 gold each night, but gradually building up towards it. But it's not necessarily the best one. It's just the one I tend to go for because I'm greedy. But you can go magic armor. Enemies that deal damage, they take damage back on themselves, and you get more health for your hero. So you can, again, play more of a hero role. I don't know if they've got the balance well enough where you can concentrate on your hero only. I feel like getting an army and towers is definitely still stronger than going for your hero. Because I did try to play a hero-only build. But maybe I need more perks before I can pull that off. Your auto attacks cooldown is 100% longer, but you deal 250% more damage. So if you're bouncing back and forth between the enemy, then that's what you go for. But we're going to go Builder's Guild. And for example, I'll just show off the settings. So you got move. I use ESDF, I know. You might use WASD, you probably do use that. You can gallop. I toggle it on and off, so that basically means you move slow or fast, but you may as well just move fast all the time. When they hit you though, it will slow you down, so you can't necessarily kite them that easily because you've got to be aware that you get slowed down. There's things like that going on, but you're moving your hero with your keyboard and you're attacking with your left mouse from time to time with whatever ability you might have, and you can control units when it comes into it. We can actually show some units off. So for example, a good unit to get here, no we can't actually, because I've picked the thing that makes it 1 more gold, otherwise it'd be 4 gold. So you can see there's... your choices have an impact. I was going to get units, but now because I picked the loadout where units are trained faster, but every barracks and each of their upgrades cost 1 more gold, I can't do that. So now I have to think about maybe getting a wall instead. That will buy me some time and protect the castle. So it kind of changes a little bit how you play. So let's start off the knight. And Oh, you can see so much damage this guy does. We just kind of need to kite him a little bit and let the towers finish him. I can keep these guys busy now because I think the towers might be able to go for this guy up here. Although, yeah, I don't know what their priority is, but this guy certainly likes going for your heroes, so... I even got a snipe there from the main base. I've kited him around. Not sure how much longer I can keep it up for, though. I would need a tower to finish him off, ideally. Come on. No! Oh, I missed my swipe. I panicked, but we're still going. And you can see the wall's really doing a good job here. Oh my god, he's still going. Come on. The wall's holding up versus the knights, which is great, because that means the keep can keep attacking them. So we should be good for this level. And then we can finish this one off. So the idea is to kind of play your way through the game and unlock all the perks and such to the point where you can access all the modifiers, and then you can turn them all on at the same time and have a really nasty time. So we got past that level. Next level is 8 archers. 8 archers, 8 archers. Archers, well, they're quite mean. They're actually good against spearmen, but I like to get spearmen versus the other units. But in this case, if I'm going to go for this level, I can get archers, long range, but quite fragile. Crossbowmen have better damage output. Bonus damage against range units. So I could actually do those and still go the spearmen. So I'm going to go crossbowmen and spearmen. Even though spearmen are technically a bit fragile against archers. Not a great pick against range units, but they are just good in general. And I unlocked these berserkers. I never played them before. They're good against siege units, but I don't think I need that particularly. There's knights, there's flails, so they do like AoE damage, or knights are tanky, but they're slow. I find the spearmen are the best, at least in my experience of playing the game for a little time. So what you just saw me do there is command some units. So if I hold down right mouse button, any nearby units will follow me. And whilst I got this circle up, they'll continue following me. If I right click on the ground, they'll go to that position. There is a perk that you can get later on. I think it's actually when you upgrade your castle, where the units that you have following you will continue to attack enemy minions whilst they're under your control. Otherwise, at the moment, they probably won't do that very well. So we tend to concentrate on positioning them if we can. So we're going to go hard on the mobs at the top, since we have a tower to deal with these 2 sets. And we're going to just snipe these and then come down for the rest. Any mobs that die will respawn from the barracks, and we've got the thing that makes them respawn quicker. So let's go into the first night. 4 out of 13. The 4th night in this case. So you can either stack up all your units in the same place and just eliminate them as they spawn, which I'm doing in this case. But they can still hit you. As you can see, I've taken some damage. And hopefully it'll work out that the towers will deal with the rest. That should be all of them spawned now, so I'm going to bring these back over. I'm going to bring these over here. And we're going to just try to attack these. Going to make those stop. And we can't get into these too deep without taking too much damage. See, I can take damage here. And we run in. AoE. Units are pretty good in this game, so if you can get them, I suggest you do. Now we've got a lot of these fast-moving siege units. We've got a wall up, so these siege units, they kind of just go straight for the base. So we're going to plant our units here. We've got a wall. I think they might go for the mill if I put one down. And you won't get the gold from it anyway, so I'm going to concentrate on getting a few more houses, I think. You can see my houses have upgraded passively over time here. That's a level 1 house, that's a level 2 house. So at the top left it shows that it generates income, how much health it has, and how much income you get. It's very simplified, this, but it's very satisfying. I think that's kind of the case. I wouldn't normally put a mill in this location, but it's because they're coming from that angle. I don't think they're going to hit this. Although, having said that, I've got the tower, so we'll see. I'm going to upgrade this tower as well, because it's in a pretty good position with the 5 gold I have remaining. Now, if we have spearmen, they're pretty good at slowing these mobs down, and you can try to body block them a little bit. So you want to use your hero, press like left and right, left and right. If one of them gets through, we just have to let that go sort of thing, because we've got towers to deal with the rest. You left and right a little bit, and you can see they slow down a fair bit, and it gives your units more time to sort of get some hits in there. See? I'm like positioning him. So you can micro a little bit in this. It's not super intense, because unless you're playing focused on your hero's not going to have that much of an impact, but they can have an impact. So that's what's cool. Now, we got 16 gold, and what's coming up the next night? Just a ton of units coming from this angle. So I think we just go for more units. So that's 9 gold there. And maybe upgrade this. I can see that I can upgrade this for 4 gold, but that's not enough. One little house there. 2 gold left over. Maybe one more house here then. Use up that money. And then next turn I can maybe upgrade my castle. I'm going to pull my units. You can either keep them behind the walls, or I tend to sort of just be aggressive at the start and do whatever I can and then have my units respawn. So that's what we're going to do here. So we're going to put these here. We're going to put those there. And away we go. We've got more crossbowmen than spearmen at the moment, because that's the ones I upgraded. So we're about sort of killing them before they kill us. A good defense is a strong offense. Oh, I wasn't paying attention to my hero there. I was looking at the health of my units, thinking about pulling them back. Because you can pull them back if you feel like now's a good time to pull back, which we're starting to get overwhelmed. But of course, if you revive, so we can pull those back and regroup our units a little bit, so we're not going to take too much damage. There we go. Let them come in and then go for it. Swipe in and then run around a little bit. Keep some of them busy. The more of them you can keep busy, the better. You can see you can auto attack as well when you're close, or you have this one ability that you can do on cooldown. So you want to sort of min-max that a little bit if you can. Be obviously very handy in the higher difficulties. But this is a good level to show off. That's sort of still intermediate with a few modifiers. Now these are air units. They'll come across, and we've got crossbowmen to hopefully deal with that. So should be able to just fully upgrade our base and be pretty much okay for this level. So you either get more health and damage output for your character. Again, that's if you want to focus on your hero doing damage. We've got units move faster while you command them, which is definitely pretty good. Units can attack while you command them, and you get a bit more damage, so it's pretty good all round of that. Castle up, your upgrade cost of walls and towers gets reduced by 1 every night. They will never be lower than 1. Initial build-up costs are unaffected. That's an interesting one. I've never picked that one before. I think that would be really good for the later difficulties. Although, yeah, because you probably can't push as much greed on the later difficulties. So you're not making as much money in the first place. Whereas I'm making quite a lot of money, so I think I'll be okay. Now let's start off the night. Yeah, it's got a nice cozy feel to it. The graphics are like sort of warm and cozy, is how I would describe it. Now these guys might come in and be a bit of a pest and kill some of my farms. Hopefully my castle should be strong enough to handle them though, with the upgrades. But we do lose 2 farms, so that's a good opportunity to show you that you don't get gold from this farm now. Sorry, that house. You see there's an X there? That represents that on that previous night that you had that fight, you won't be alright. You won't get your money from those 2 objects. But on the next turn, if we succeed on the next night, money will come from these, as long as they don't get destroyed. So, I love that element, that you don't get massively punished, and the house has to be rebuilt, because that would be really annoying and expensive. So I think that's probably something they maybe originally started off with, but probably decided that's kind of annoying mechanic. So it's a case of, you just don't benefit. You failed on that night, you get punished for that night. You don't get punished like all the time. Now we've got 22 gold. We're going to get hit by a lot of sort of siege boys and spiky boys. So you could always upgrade the wall again, assuming that these are going to get destroyed. And then push economy on this side. So improved plow, explosive trap, scarecrows, that's good anti-air, and wind spirits. The higher the level of the meal, the more arrows are blocked. So apparently good against enemy arrows. But of course I like to go with the greed. Every future upgrade of this meal will increase its income even more. So I think, yeah, instead of the 1 gold, when it's upgraded it's going to give 3 gold. And then from 3 gold it goes to 8 gold. So that's pretty significant there. And each one of these farms still only gives 1 gold from what I can tell. I don't think they can get like the benefit of the increased plow. It's just the windmill. So if you're going to do that, you have to kind of increase the windmill's power. Now we're going to pull these units over to this side. And we're going to just sort of defend here a little bit. So your spearmen are ahead. We're going to grab these as they're coming over. And put them like that. And start the night. If I can try to kite these a little bit without taking too much damage to my heroes. Body blocks, sorry. Or you can see suddenly how spiky that damage can be, so you kind of have to be ready for it. We're going to get hit over here, so I'm going to pull these units down. If I can keep those alive, that'd be great. Oh no, they're sneaking over to this side. I'm going to try to keep these busy, so we pull them into the fight in the middle. That's pretty good how they make it so that not all units go exactly into the same location. It means you have to be aware of what's happening on the map and paying attention to it. I'm getting chased by one of those spiky boys again. I'm not sure if my sword is going to be enough to kill it. Oh, there we go. It is. Good. So, by doing that, we save the money that I'm going to get here. And you see we'll get money from this as well, this house, because it's back up and running. 34 gold. I'm going to get attacked by air from a lot of angles, so you probably just get a couple of towers would be a smart idea. I can actually get this and structure a tower on this side as well. That will cover the left hand side and it will help defend against the beefy boys that are going to hit into this. More units. So you get archers, crossbowmen, hunters, and as you can see I haven't played enough to unlock whatever the last one is there. Hunters are effective against monsters, and I think monsters would be basically ogres. A huge melee warrior that really packs a punch. Due to their human heritage, ogres aren't monsters. Ah, everybody knows that. I didn't. I assumed they were. So I just got myself hunters, but they're not going to do bonus damage against ogres. I thought they would. I was going to bring them over here. I may as well just do it anyway at this point and do that. Okay, so let's get a little bit of upgrade there and upgrade this tower just to keep that more alive. And then 6 gold. We could be trying to be greedy here, although I'm not sure how much of this I'm going to get to keep. We can pull our melee spear boys to deal with... Actually, aren't those the air ones? I get a little bit confused by the symbols. I think these are air ones. Keep a couple up here and have these go down here and then have these here and have these here, and that should be good. Let the little lads come over, or you can come over and make them move quicker. Because, remember, we got the perk that makes them move faster if we do it ourselves. So the only thing that's a little tedious is trying to sort of set everything up before the next night. And having your hero run around a little bit. He moves pretty quick, but there's some bigger levels, and it can be a bit annoying. And there's no hotkey to pull all your units in at the same time. That might be a bit overpowered, but maybe it could be used just for the construction phase. The setup phase. Yeah, those are air units, so we may as well pull the spearmen down here, because we know there's going to be no melee units that spawn in this location. But once you get yourself the economy and the units set up, these levels aren't too super difficult, and you can blast through them and get yourself a good chunk of experience to then apply the modifiers. So where I think this game really kicks off is once you can start adding more modifiers. I've only got a couple, but I could obviously have all 4 that I have available to me right now. And that would certainly make a difference. Believe you me, when you add on each modifier, it really kicks in. But of course you get the reward of more experience. And the higher score. Look at all that gold. So we've got Knight, 10 out of 13. We're getting close. We're going to get hit by 90 swordsmen. And a lot of ogres. There's swordsmen. I find that if you want to go through the levels a little quicker at this point, you just plow your money into units. That way you have enough units to sort of fight them quicker and bring them down faster. And this passive has been slowly upgrading each of my houses, which means you always want to have at least one level 1 house that can be automatically upgraded into a level 2 at the end of the night. Otherwise you're missing out on that money. Hello. So at this point we're not getting attacked on the left hand side, so we need to grab all of our units. Because otherwise they're going to just be standing there. Although they do tend to be quite good at entering the battlefield, especially on the respawn point of keep funneling in, a bit like a Dota or something. And I think we'll just kick off with this. I might try to keep these mobs distracted and assume that these mobs are going to do well at the top. So that's what I'm going to go with. I'll try to pull these mobs over to the top here if I can. You can let a couple go through because the arrow towers will deal with a couple of swordsmen at a time. But as you can see, if I can pull more swordsmen to chase me and bulk them up a little bit, then we're going to have less pressure on the left hand side. But I can't keep it up forever. So I'm going to take a few of these now, pull them over here, and a few of these. That's if they want to come over. And then get ready to sort of kite these down a bit whilst my units are coming over. You see, a little bit of micro can go a long way. We will lose a couple of farms there because my units aren't super quick at getting there. But we want to sort of maintain this. Because that's where the real key comes in, is on the harder difficulties. Every building that you keep alive is going to make a real big difference in the long run of how well it goes for you. So every little move that you make can have a great impact in the long run. But we are so strong right now that we should be able to blast this. See? I'm already getting backseat gamed. iPang says I should have upgraded the towers. Maybe. There's different ways to do it. You can upgrade towers. You can only build what it shows you is available. But there you go. Maybe towers was the right answer. Let's get some berserks. Because I've never had those before. I don't know what they're doing. But we'll find out. More units and faster replenishment. That's a lot of units. We've got 18 gold. I think there's another upgrade to units I can do here. That's only 9 gold, so yeah. 9 gold. We need another house. We've got one level 1 house up there actually, so we're okay. We can upgrade the mill as well. To get more benefit from that. Get another house, because I've only got 2 gold left. This level, a lot of archers and a lot of sort of siege boys, maybe? Racers. Fast rolling monsters that are not messing around. They aim straight for your castle. They're very punishing, they are. In earlier levels when you're trying to be greedy. Because on some of the later levels, you'll go against racers. And if you push too much greed, you just cannot defend your castle no matter how well you play it. So you have to sort of be a little bit smarter and choose which levels you're going to put an extra arrow tower in or such. You can't just go full greed every time because it will punish you. But we've got such a massive army here. We're going to stack them up like crazy. And I've got the perk that replenishes my units nice and quickly. So you can see they're running down. Doing a great job of attacking. So rangers are quite strong because they can attack whilst they're moving here and getting back into the fight. I haven't seen a formation option, but I think the game still wants to be quite simple. They can obviously add more, and they're probably willing to take on feedback because they're early access at the moment. That was a blow over that one. And look at all the gold we're getting. That's crazy amount of gold now. So not the last level. This next level is so easy, we can just basically go straight away. I may as well just spend all my gold pretty much first, so bear with me. I can't just click on it. I'm going to get hot oil. Do I think this game would benefit from having other races too? Like in area, places, samurai, Spartans, Egyptians, or a race with a special... I mean, absolutely. There's loads of flavor you can add to it. I wouldn't see why not. You need to have it so that it's familiar enough for the player that they know what they're handling, though, and dealing with. But they kind of have, like, you know, they have the ogres and stuff like that. They just need different type of units. Like, they could have mammoths or something, like big elephants that can sort of take a lot of damage and siege you. That sort of thing. Alright, let's just finish off with this. I'm going to get a scarecrow. I've never got it before. I don't think I need it. Actually, get wind spirits. I've never seen that one. I don't know if it works on this or just the mill itself. Okay. Let's go. This should be a blow over this level anyway. These guys do a lot of damage, but they're going to get absolutely obliterated. They seem to focus your hero if he's close enough. So keep your hero nearby to kite them. Now, let's finish off upgrading, making everything super meaty. I'm going to get ballista upgrade. And on this one, I'll get the fortress tower, because why not? We've got a really meaty sort of shield going on there. So you've got little turrets and stuff like that within these walls that you can spend your money on. And let's get another ballista, because that's slightly longer range. We've got air units coming on the left-hand side. We've got air units coming there. We've got massive armies coming on the other sides. So I'm going to pull my melee units, put them here. Pull these, put them here. Run in here, put them here. And archers, take a few more of those, whack them here. So what I would think is be ready to pull these archers into the fight once you've dealt with these air units, because I don't think they're going to last that long, those air units. The main building is upgraded. You know, I don't actually know if I finished upgrading it. Yes, it looks like I did actually. Yeah, I got a button here that I can press that will show you everything that can be upgraded. So you got another tower here, and potentially more units, because you can upgrade this, which will mean another couple of spearmen. Charge! And it gets kind of chaotic at this point. The spawns aren't always all at the same time, so you kind of have to get used to the level, because the air units haven't spawned yet, so you could have more units here. I think they might go back to their original positions. I can always pull them up now, assuming that maybe spawns are going to come over here, for example. Now we've got air units coming in on the left-hand side. You can run through all these little gates, like in Age of Empires, which is great. Got a lot of siege units at the back here, but we're charging in hard. We're getting hit quite hard on the left-hand side, because I don't have too much anti-air, but my towers will finish the rest of this, and we don't have to worry about the money that we make, because this is the last level for this stage. More coming in. Because we're not playing with all the modifiers, we can kill these quicker, which means that we got a bit of a gap there. But if you're going to play in the higher modifiers, then at that point you would probably still be fighting mobs. So your difficulty will vary depending on how you play this. But I think if you like the game, you should definitely add on the modifiers, because otherwise you probably will find it a little bit too easy once you get the hang of it. Oh, you get final income round after this wave, which would count towards your score, so there is that argument, yes. You can get a higher score if you keep everything alive. Like, so it depends how much you really want to just get every ounce of score, or just beat the level. Oh, we're gonna get some damage. So this is where I think going a hero build kind of falls a bit more, because you get attacked from so many different angles, there's so many different minions to have to deal with. How much of an impact can your hero really have? Whereas in the early stage, it definitely has more of an impact. And there we have it. Victory. And there's our base and how it looks. So we got a new high score. Or maybe not. Almost. Almost. I've unlocked fire archers. So they're able to set ground around their attacks on fire. That would obviously be good. Apparently good against engines as well. So you level up and access more stuff. Challenge the God of Destruction. Buildings only heal 25% of their health points every morning. Destroyed buildings take an additional day to get repaired, but you get 20% more experience and XP. So there you go. Modifiers are kind of where the game really kicks in. Because now that means that you can't necessarily be so lax and confident with your building coming back. All of your units have plus 100% health, but their training speed at night is reduced by 60%. So they're tankier. They take longer to train. All your archers have plus 60% more range. And their movement speed is increased by 60%. That one's pretty darn good. Ah. So you can either try the level again, or just continue. And you can move on to the next level. I just accessed Ruler of Nordfels, which means that I've completed all of the quests in this zone. So if you look now at the bottom left, we've now done that. So if you come over to this section, which is Dernstein, I think. Durststein. Those are the following challenges to unlock. I think you can pick them off one by one if you like. So, or you can try your luck and put on all of those modifiers and try to get a 12,000 high score. That way you can do it all in one turn. So it's up to you how you want to play it. Just do that. You get a plus 214% score. And you need to use the spear, as you can see. And then you could do that all in one go. You reckon you're getting B and D can't be done at the same time? Well, B's already been done because it's grayed out. It's C to F. Achieve a victory without spear, yeah. So that could theoretically all be done at the same time. Okay, and that's the game. There's a couple more levels. It's still early access. They're still working on it. But I just wanted to kind of do a highlight for the game. That's what this video is. So hopefully you enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure to thumbs up the video and check out the channel for more. I also do Warcraft free videos, youtube.com/wittywarcraft, and I stream twitch.tv/witty, WTII. So thank you for watching.